Okay, so we just did a couple cat-cows to start. And now we're in our child's pose position. This should feel really good on your back. Once you, while you're in here, just to shift your weight from right to left for me. Nice and easy. Right to left. And then slowly on the next inhale, walk those hands up. And as you exhale, we're gonna grab our foam roller. Let's go ahead and get started with rolling out those muscles. So we're gonna start with the quads, like we usually do. You're gonna place your roller towards the middle of your mat. And you wanna come down into your plank position. So make sure you have the mat here at home, you're on your elbows. And then once you have all your weight on your roller, you're gonna lift those legs up and you're gonna roll from the space in between your knees and your hips. Nice and slow here. So we never wanna roll over any joints when we're doing our foam rolling. And we do this for about 30 seconds to a minute. We don't need to go much longer than that. I just wanna move very slowly. Trying to relax your muscles, even if this is a little bit uncomfortable. You find a tight spot, hang out there for a couple of seconds, and then start your movement again. But these muscles shouldn't be too bad. So when we get to the IT band, it starts to get a little uncomfortable. Okay, let's slowly press ourselves up. We'll come out of that. Now we're going to transition to our glutes. So we're going to do that same position, stretch that we did off the bike, our figure four. So you're going to take a seat on your roller. This is a great stretch to even do while you're seated at your desk, too, if you don't have a roller. And we'll start with that left ankle, and we're going to take it up and over that right knee. So just that figure four. Your hands come behind you, so you got to do a little bit of work here. I would say a little tricep workout with the foam rolling. So lean to the left, you got left leg over, and then start your roll. So if you have your right leg just then come to the right. Yep, whatever leg is crossed, you want to lean to that side and start creating some circles. Yep. Might feel a little bit uncomfortable, that's okay. Keep going. So if this is your first time or it's been a while, I definitely recommend the white foam roller. The gray, the blue are sort of a medium level density, and then your black is going to be your hardest. Let's go ahead and release and do the other side. So black is good if you do this regularly and you just have a really tight knot that you want to get out. And lean to that side, create little circles. There's also rollers that have different ridges and textures, and that gets a little bit deeper in those muscles in just a more concentrated way, as opposed to the ones we're using now. But these are good just for a regular, good old-fashioned foam roll session. Okay, let's relax. And also take your weight off your hands just for a moment too, because it is a little bit of work. So maybe interlacing those fingers, like you overstretch. Especially if you're seated, you type all day, right? So a little bonus for stretch. Okay, because we're gonna come back onto our hands. The next thing is gonna be our hamstrings. We're gonna do the hamstrings and the calves. So I like to line this up similar to how we did for the quad stretch. So I line it right in the center of the mat. Hands behind, like you're getting ready to do a tricep dip. You lift up, hands can go out or right behind you. And again, all your weight on the roller and just going forward and back. This one tends to feel not too bad because it's a little bit harder for us to work our hamstrings so they don't get us sore. We tend to use more muscles in the front part of our bodies, which is sort of why we're like this or hunched over. We tend just to focus on, chest and quads and not work the back as much as we probably should. Okay, let's move down. Calves. So you can do the same thing for the calves. If they're really tight, do one leg at a time. So I'm just gonna do one leg at a time. But if you can put all your weight on it, go for it. Lift up, same thing here. I always say you can rotate a little bit with the calves, right? So you can rotate out and get more sort of the side. Yep, just like that. You can rotate in a little bit. They're not as tight as they normally are. Usually I'm like screaming this way. And let's go ahead and just relax there. If you did one, do the other. Or to take a little stretch for those wrists. This is the last one where we're on our hands. Just FYI. I know it's a little hard. Last one. So if you did one side, just make sure you do the other. Roll it out. If you find a knot, hang out there. Maybe use a lacrosse ball. And let's go ahead and release. Whew, okay. Got a couple more. Next one is probably gonna be the hardest one. This is our IT band, this long muscle that runs alongside of our body. It just tends to be really tight because we don't generally move in that direction. So we're gonna set up like we're doing a side plank. Just a little more work. I'm gonna start with my left. So left elbow, make sure it's right up or right under your shoulder. You wanna make sure that's lined up well so we don't put too much pressure on our shoulders. And then you're gonna take the roller. You can start by sitting on it and then come down onto your elbow. Now the top leg, take that in front and press that onto your mat. Yep, perfect. So have weight on that right leg, perfect. Now we're gonna lift our left leg off the floor. And now you're gonna roll front to back or side to side, I suppose. You don't wanna go on your hip bone or on your knee joint, but in that space that's in between, okay? Whew. A little bit uncomfortable. And just keep that elbow under your shoulder for the most part. All right, let's go ahead and switch. Oh my goodness, you're gonna do the other side. Now, if you didn't feel that and you wanted a little more, you could stack both legs. I'm gonna go just turn this way so you all can see me. All right, so now the other side. You're gonna set up, elbow under that shoulder. Start right on top, yep. Of the foam roller, top leg, take it up and over, perfect. And now our right leg lifts off the floor. And same thing, forward and back. Small, slow movements and making sure that you're breathing and not holding that breath. Whew. So if you want a little more, you would just simply stack that top leg and just apply more weight and more pressure to the roller. We're essentially giving ourselves a massage, right? Whew. One of those deep tissue massages. Oh my goodness, that's how this one's feeling. All right, slowly come off. Perfect, good job. Okay, we're gonna get to that upper back and then we're just gonna finish with some feel good stretches, okay, because we deserve it. So this one, we're gonna set up sort of as if we're doing like getting ready to do a crunch or a sit up. So you want just your upper back on the roller. So you're gonna lean back. So mid to upper back, and then you're gonna take your hands behind your head like you're getting ready to do a sit up. So we just don't want our lower back on it. It's just kind of sensitive. Your feet are about hip distance, okay? Head doesn't move. You're sort of cradling your head with your hands. You're gonna lift your hips off the floor just a couple inches. Without moving your head, you're gonna go towards the bottom of your mat and then towards the top, but just rolling on that space. That is your upper to mid back. So not as much surface area here. Keep those elbows out. So sort of the set upper mid back, perfect. And then if you found a spot, once again, just hang out there for a couple seconds. You could pull your elbows in a little bit, maybe move to the side. So you can go to the left and get a little more into that left shoulder blade, and then maybe go to the right a little bit. We just never want our neck or our lower back rolling on the roller. And everything else is fair game, just about. Whew, all right, and then slowly come on down. Let's move the roller off to the side. And let's go ahead and come down onto our back. And we're gonna hug our knees into our chest. We will use this one more time at the very end. So just a couple more minutes here. So knees in the chest, you're gonna rock side to side. Wiggle your ankles, circle those toes. Especially if you're wearing, maybe high heels or work shoes that tend to just not allow your feet to breathe a little bit. Let's go into a spinal twist. So take your arms all the way up to the side, make letter T. You're gonna drop your legs, your knees all the way to the right, and you're gonna look over your left shoulder for spinal twist. Take a couple breaths. Similar to the seated twist that we did on the bike. Obviously, we get a lot more of a stretch here. Doing it this way on our back. And then very slowly on the next inhale, bring those knees back to your chest and exhale to the other side. Same thing, all the way to the left. Extend through that right arm, look over that right shoulder. Take a couple breaths. And then very slowly back to the center. And then we're going to roll over to one side. We're going to press ourselves up. We're going to do one last thing with our foam roller, okay? And we want to go to sleep now, right? Okay, so with this foam roller, Mindy, I know you know this one. We're going to lay on top of this. We didn't do this last week, so let's do it today. So you're going to lay it lengthwise on your mat like this. If you're at home, you're watching this later, you don't have a roller, you could stack pillows and do this. You just want to be elevated, lift it off the mat a little bit. So you're going to sit on the edge of your roller. You're going to lean back. You want to make sure that your head rests on the roller. So very slowly make your way down. Make sure your head is touching the roller and your feet are on the floor. They're about hip distance. Keep them sort of wide because that's going to give you some stability. All right, we're going to lift those arms up, palms together. You're going to open up to that T position. Inhale all the way open. And then exhale, come back up. Let's just do it 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. You feel a big stretch across the chest, arms, armpits. Last one, hold that there. Now, if you feel the stretch, stay right here. If you want a little extra, instead of the T, you're gonna make a Y or sort of a V shape, V for victory. V shape with your arms. So bring them all the way up and back. Back of the hands, touch the floor behind you. And then inhale, slowly bring it back up. Tap the floor right down by your hips. And then take it back overhead as you inhale. Arms nice and straight. Exhale, touch the floor one more time. In your V or in your T. I guess I thought Y because the rest of our body is making that bottom shape of the Y. Okay, so Y, T, V, whatever you want this. Hold here for a couple breaths. Big stretch in those shoulders. Now, while you're holding this, if you want a little extra, stay right where you're at. Just simply straighten out your legs in front of you. Keep them wide. Just straighten them out. So now you're making an X shape with your body, right? Or a starburst. So you should feel this in your hips. If it does not feel good on your lower back, keep your feet on the floor. So a huge stretch for the front side of the body. Maybe a little uncomfortable, just take a deep breath into it. Let's do 2 more here, and then we're done. It's like you're doing the doorway stretch. 1 more breath. All right, very slowly. It's a little tricky getting out of this. Let's start with the legs. Just gently bend 1 knee at a time. Place your feet back on the floor. Keep them wide. Now, as for the arms, you can start to bend at your elbows a little bit. Lift the arms off the floor and then cross them over your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Big hug. Cross those arms. Good job. Let's roll the side. So gently sliding off that roller. And then coming over and up into just a seated position. Nice and easy. Whatever feels good. Maybe cross-legged or resting on the shins, couple shoulder rolls. Ooh, we should feel so much better as soon as we are done and as soon as we stand up. That's the best part of the foam rolling session. You feel that immediate relief. Inhale, reach up, big deep breath. Exhale, let it go. 1 more time for good luck. Inhale. and exhale. And we are done. Great job, everybody. Thank you so much. Good job, Mindy. Thanks for coming.
My pleasure. Thank you for having